Hello, Year Six. It's Miss Jobbins here with your first week back, Spring One's English planning. I hope you're all well, and I really hope that you've all had a truly wonderful and magnificent Christmas break. We miss you all so much already, and we just can't believe that you're working from home, but we do understand that it's for the safety of everyone in the country, but we do hope that you're all okay. Now, just as before, so as last year when you were in year five, you know really how these English planning pieces work, and also if you've been working at home for some of this. But I'm going to take you through very briefly in this little sort of first lesson teaching point a bit about what to expect. So this week you've been asked by the four of us teachers to write an explanation text. Now we'll go into more detail about what is an explanation text in a moment and what you're going to be writing your explanation text on. But I'm going to briefly take you through the sort of layout of what each of these English planning texts look like. So excuse the current layout of my screen. As my class know, and please don't laugh, Garnet and Kyanite class, but I'm the least technically advanced one out of the four teachers. So please, if you hear me going, oh no, it's because I've probably done something wrong. So how each of these are going to go is each lesson will be explained in sort of what is covered in that lesson. As you can see, lesson 4 and 5 in these sorts of layouts are always under the same PowerPoint, because that is by then you would have had all the information in lesson 1 and 2 and gone through the features and the success criteria and the useful information. You then would have gone through your taps and started planning your piece of writing. Just like in class on Thursday and Fridays, we usually, once the teacher or you've gone through your text and you're happy with it and you think it's right to write up in your extended writing book, you usually have sort of lesson 4 to finish editing and planning it, and then lesson 5, the Fridays, when we usually write it up in neat. The same expectation is going to be set in these lessons, ladies and gentlemen. So on the lesson 4 is when you start to edit and improve it. Lesson 5 is once you've edited it, improved it, maybe got someone at home, a parent or carer or sibling or someone at home to read it, or you please, we'd love to see them uploaded to Class Dojo. We are happy to read through them, give you some information on them first, and then we're going to, then you can then write them up in a nice, neat manner, obviously following your cursive joint handwriting and making sure that you've got all the elements of the success criteria, and that's usually in lesson 5. We then like you to upload it to your dojo portal. Okay, so this is how they go. Each lesson will be given an LO, which we'd expect you to write at the top of your page with the long date, and then it sort of takes you through about each session. Now, as you know, Year 6, we start with a spelling starter. They're quite self-explanatory. They'll take you through what is exactly needed. Then it's got some useful websites that you can use. Before you write, you can always click on any of these. It will come up and then it will take you through straight to the website. You just need to click on the link. Then it's going to take you through each of these steps, which I will take you through in a moment. Same as lesson 2, it then goes on to a spelling starter, then it will break it down for you as it says here, it will take you through all the information. Each of these sections, now they're quite detailed because usually that's what we do in class, you will have an activity set. So in the first one for this week, as I'll take you through in a moment, it's some questions, and then lesson 2 is identifying the features as we always do in class. Then it talks a bit about planning. Now, obviously, you've got 5 days or 4 days to do this. Now, please remember that this is to do in your own time, so don't stress, don't panic, just take it at your own pace. And then you've also then got some modelled examples for you. You can also find some modelled examples here in this section here, and also some useful videos just under the teaching points here. As well as that, you've got the worksheet that we'd like you to complete here. Whilst I was also on here and I'm chatting away, you've also got each of these grammar resources. These grammar resources will take you through everything that's on the success criteria, which you'll see a little bit later on when you get to that. They each break them down and explain to you sort of what each of them means. So if you're not certain about, say, for example, causal conjunctions or time conjunctions, you can find them on the grammar resources. Now, please, as I always explain, if you ever have questions about anything, do not hesitate to come and ask me. I'm more than happy, or your class teacher is more than happy to answer any questions you have. Just don't forget to ask us on Dojo or through the school website. We'd be more than happy to help you out. Then it will take you through, as I said, each lesson. Then it has a spelling starter. Then it will break it down to you. Then, as you can see here, on the final one, it does take you through how to upload it onto Dojo if you can't remember. And all the teaching points are added just in case you, for some reason, cannot access them here. They are always at the end of each of the slides. So let's get on to lesson 1. So, an explanation text. An explanation text is a non-fiction text which describes how or why things happen. So it's similar to an instruction text which tells us how to make something. An explanation text explains how or why things happen or why they are. An explanation text gives us information about a subject that we are interested in and would like to know more about. So as I explained, each of these here explained to you. So today in lesson 1, we're going to look at what is an explanation text, why do we write them, what is an explanatory text about, and you're going to start thinking about some key questions and answering them on your lined piece of paper. Now, just like you would in a literacy book, you're going to be writing them on a lined piece of paper, and we'd like you to upload by just taking a photo of these and uploading it to your portal on Class Dojo. So your LO today is I can explain what an explanation text is. Now we'd like you to have a go at this spelling starter where you need to write down on your piece of paper these 6 common exception words from the Year 5 and 6 statutory spelling list as many times as you can in 3 minutes. Once you've done them, you can turn over your whiteboard, it says whiteboard but it should say paper, and write them all down correctly in under 1.5 minutes. Which words can you spell correctly? Which words do you need to practice more? Pause this video and have a go. Good luck. Hello and welcome back. I hope you had a go and maybe you've jotted down the spellings that you need to practice on. We're now going to carry on with lesson 1. So here are some useful websites that are always good. As I said, you just need to click on these and you can always come back to these slides whenever you need to. They'll be really important. So I'm not going to take you through each of these slides because they're very self-explanatory. But as I said, explanations are written to give an account of how or why things occur, particularly within science or technology. Explanations tell us how something happens or why something works. They describe a process and also give reasons. We use explanations to help people who want to understand these things. The text should answer how, why, when, or where questions they might have. An explanation text is a non-fiction text which describes a process. And you can have a watch. Now, please watch this video. And as you look through it, perhaps take some notes on the key features of an explanation text. If you'd like to, these 2 posters are really important. So I would, if you can, print them off and have them for you when you're writing yours. As it shows, it takes you through what an explanation text is, what are the different forms. You today are going to be writing a sort of causal or casual explanation, which will explain why. Okay, what structure is needed, the language features, and other features that you might see included in it. This poster on the right hand side is also important. It breaks it down in a sort of more basic sense. And also here below, as you can see, what skills are needed to develop. These will sort of be like the added extras we'd like you to include. So, for example, sort of what photos might you include, what captions, that's like little explanations underneath each photo, what they might have. So it says this week you are going to be writing an explanatory text on how to be a teacher. Now this might seem like a really fun and exciting idea, and we really hope that you enjoy this idea. But think about it, we don't want it to be offensive, we want it to be explanatory. We want you to explain how to be a teacher. Think about the types of language you might use. Think about the key points you're going to make. Do teachers need to have a degree? Yes, of course they do. Do they work hard? Do they put in a lot of hours? Do they spend a lot of time in and outside of school? What sort of also sub-jobs do a teacher have? For example, break duties. They also spend a lot of time outside of school planning your work. They also do a lot of admin. That means like a lot of paperwork. There's some websites below here, as you can see in blue, which basically explain a little bit more. If you'd like us to answer some questions, perhaps you'd write a list of your own questions. You can upload them to Dojo and we'd be more than happy to help you. So, your first task in lesson 1 today is you need to answer these questions in preparation for writing your explanatory text on how to be a teacher. The more detailed your answers, the better. You can use them in your writing later on. As I said previously, you can use the links below to brainstorm your ideas, and you can write in full sentences and bullet points. It depends on how you work best. So your questions are as follows. What is a teacher? What do teachers do? How do they do them? For example, how they tell off students, how they mark work, how they plan lessons, the sub-jobs that I've already explained to you. What makes a good teacher? Does it need to be, like, what qualities? What makes them good? Are they hardworking? Are they good listeners? Are they supportive? Are they kind? Are they caring? Are they strict? Are they fair? Think about all the qualities a good teacher might have. Why do teachers do what they do? Think about why teachers teach. For example, to make a difference, to help students, to support and make a difference to people's lives, to enrich children's learning, to develop knowledge, that sort of thing. We don't mind a bit of humour running throughout it, but really do think about how much level of humour you're putting in. What fuel do they need? Why do teachers need fuel? What kind of fuel? Why is fuel important for the body? What would fueling your body make you? Why would fueling your body make you a good teacher? You could essentially use all of these key questions as your subheadings in your explanation text. They'll be really important, and you can break them each down and do like a subheading for each one and explain a bit why they need these things. Your key thing whenever writing an explanation text is subheadings, which you've got all of these here, and once you've done all the work on them, you can then fluff them up with all the key features and the success criteria and all the elements from the grammar resource. But you can also think about the key things that you need to include. As well as that, top tips for being a teacher. They're really important if you really want to think about some top tips. Now, please, please, please remember, don't be afraid to ask us questions. We'd be more than happy to help you. So that is the end of lesson 1 today. We look forward to seeing your uploaded versions of these questions. Like I said, if you do need any help at all whatsoever, don't hesitate to just message your teacher on Class Dojo or through the school web info at. We'd be happy to also give you a Zoom and give you some more information on these. Wishing you the best of luck and have a lovely day. See you soon. Bye.